starting to look like Ernest Hemingway. I have started and restarted this video like 6 times because I haven't scripted it, and I'm trying to find the best way to say what I want to say, and I've just been compelled. This is a response video to Mikala, whose YouTube celebrity videos I've been watching and rewatching, especially in light of the Sam Pepper allegations and sexual assault video controversy. And it brings up stuff that happened on YouTube back in the spring with Tom Milsom, and there was a whole bunch of YouTubers who got kind of slapped down, big ones, who got slapped down for using YouTube's celebrity to sort of abuse, in a lot of ways, their fans, sometimes younger women, sometimes women their own age, but underage, mostly impressionable youth. But I wanted to respond because I need to make clear that I am in no way defending the behavior of any of these individuals. But YouTube's celebrity has kind of become a bit of a dirty word. Has got a bit of a smudge on it right now, and I just want to. I don't think any of these people, Sam Pepper or Tom Milsom or anybody, and I'm using those two because they're the ones who are first and foremost on my mind. They're the ones that I know the best as far as the case is. I don't think they went into this thinking, I want to get into this and then it's going to give me access to all these young women and this adulation. But I know they went into it wanting that love, wanting that affection, because from the outside, and I say this because I have struggled with a desire for, not celebrity, but a desire for, I'm just going to call it that, my whole life. I decided I wanted to become a performer of some sort. Originally it was stand-up comic, then it was sketch comedian, then it was actor, then it was screenwriter. I've gone through a lot of permutations of this, but I've always wanted fan adulation. I've always craved that. It's the thing that makes me go, this isn't a hobby, this is my goal, this is my desire, this is my dream. Because a hobby means I really don't want anything to happen with this, and the truth of the matter is that I always want something to happen with this. Whether I'm playing music or getting a play published or whatever it is I've done in the last 27 years, somewhere in there. Some of this has been me living the dream. Honestly, living the dream. But nothing has allowed me to supplement my day job income. I've had the same day job for almost 18 years now. Nothing has allowed me to replace that income with income generated from music, YouTube videos, so on and so forth. But that desire, that drive, that hunger, get famous is the only term I can use. It sounds childish. It sounds 12 when I say get famous. But that desire is, I have never not had it. I've tried to kill it. Believe me, there have been times in my life when I have a lack of faith in myself and the things I do where I'm like, just give it up. Why are you still trying to do this? This is ridiculous for a grown man to want this. But I do. And I think it's because I'm on the outside of it. I'm on the outside looking in. On the outside, I see people who make a living creating. Make a living using their art, using their mind, their imagination, all the things, all the places that I live. I see them. And to me, the fame I want is people to love the work. My son Danny and I watched Queen perform at Live Aid last night. My son is 13 and he's just gotten into Queen. Don't ask me how. He's just sort of gotten there. Oh, it got in through Bohemian Rhapsody and Wayne's World, which he also loves. Anyway, so I showed him, I pulled up the Queen performance from Live Aid. Great performance. If you haven't seen it, find it, watch it. And there's Freddie Mercury standing in front of all of Wembley Stadium, packed. 1 billion people watching on television. And they're all going like this to Radio Gaga. Everybody in the audience is doing that. They're all singing the words to Bohemian Rhapsody. And I'm almost brought to tears because of the thought, it would be wonderful to have 1,000 people, up to 200 people, sing my words back to me. That's what fame is from the outside looking in. The knowledge that if enough people love me, I can do it forever. It validates me. First of all, it validates me. First of all, it validates the work I do, the more people love me. It says, you're not wasting your life. This is not a hobby. That is the first and foremost, that is probably the first thing you want. The truth is, the dark side of this is if your work is good and enough people like you, it's no longer about your work. It's about you. It's about who you are. Although that's typically what celebrity becomes. You may start out liking what they do, the same way I started out loving what Joss Whedon does, but now I love Joss Whedon. I feel like I know Joss Whedon. And I think that's where this trouble starts, is when you start to get there, you never know if it's going to happen. You go out with the best of intentions. Next thing you know, there's people you don't even know who are hungry for the things you do. I think if you start out at 16, 17, and you're in your early 20s, and that whole time you've been garnering fans and working inside this culture, you haven't had time to find out who you are. I think that's one of the big problems. Some of these people that I see in my youth, back in the 80s and 90s, they would have simply been awkward, frustrated losers. They would have been these guys who were just kind of unlucky with girls, and instead, because I was one of those guys, I had lots of friends who were those guys. And if suddenly something we did on YouTube had this throng, this sort of faceless mass of young women just loving what you do. They love you. It's not about your music. It's not about your videos. They love you because you are cool and you're one of the cool kids. If that suddenly happened to one of me or my awkward friends when we were that young, I can't guarantee that we wouldn't be these people you're talking about. But some of the people who were a little older when it happens, the Green Brothers, Wheezy Waiter, there's plenty of them, that when it happens after they've kind of locked on to who they are, they tend to use it a little bit more effectively. And I understand that in the people who work. There are people who are perfectly willing to bend over backwards and do flips and do whatever the market says they should do to get there. I'm not one of those. I'll dabble a little bit in what's trending, but I'm not going to change what I do. Like, I'm not going to stop writing the kinds of songs that I write just for the sake of that. I've got a job, I've got insurance, I've got a house and cars, and by cars I mean 2 10-year-old used cars. I'm not desperate and hungry. If you are desperate and hungry because you're young, I totally get it. I totally get doing whatever it takes. So, again, I'm not defending the results. I'm only trying to give a little understanding to how I think the drive to get more eyes on you and your work can turn into celebrity worship. So all I want to say is that watching these videos, I feel guilty for wanting to have that sort of fan base. But I can't deny it. I cannot deny it. I don't have it. And I don't know what I'd be like if I did. From the outside looking in, I'd like to think that I would be like the Vlogbrothers or any number of musicians, since music is really my focus right now. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys down the road. The irony is that I have a little bit of celebrity worship toward Mikola, who rebukes such activities. So.
Like soft maracas filling up the sky. Give this morning